What you know you can't explain. But you feel it. You felt it your entire life. That there's something wrong. You don't know what it is, but it's there. Like a splinter in your mind, driving you mad. Experience the awakening. Brilliant anonymous researchers. Patriots, join us in the Patriot Army. Trust the plan, pain coming. Boom, boom, boom. Let's go. RedStateTalkRadio.com, Brighteon.tv, Rumble.com/MG Show. The end won't be for everyone. That choice to know will be yours. Where we go, one we go all. Fight, 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 and fight we will. We fight every day right here on the MG Show. Here we go. Oh my God, we've got pesky Q proofs all over the place. But
Q is just a psyop. Q is wrong. Bigger boo.
But you know, Q is talking about everything that you're hearing today on the news years ago, guys. Shady Groove, welcome to the show, the pesky Q proof show.
The pesky Q-proof show. It's the you are not tired of winning show. That's exactly what this is. This is the we told you so long ago show is what this is. This is called treason season, Jeff. Yeah. The time has come for people to see the truth. And I'm going to preface today's show with letting our audience in on a little secret. It's none of your business what the timeline is of when things happen. Psyopers are already pivoting to try to ram down a timeline to say, "Oh, nothing's happening yet."
Where the
black pillars they're already on the wall. They are trying to tell you that there's nothing going on. They will not tell you that the idea that these people are being exposed so that the left has to defend them is the purpose of this. It's not arrests, even though there probably will be arrests. The purpose of this is to make it where they can't walk down the street. That's the promise that we were made. That doesn't say anything about prosecutions or arrests or timelines.
Scottish Anons says it the best. It must be done right.
And golly, perfect tone, sir.
Thank you, Scottish Anon. I appreciate you. And by the way, thank you very much, Sandy Star White. One gifted subscription. And we got Pastor Shadowley. Mr. President, please, it's too much. We can't take it anymore. It's too much winning. Wow.
Yes, sir.
Wow. So all these people that said Q is a LARP, Q is all this, Q. I mean, they don't shut my Twitter account down for anything. Hillary doesn't put me on a list of people she wants off Twitter for anything. Sitting Senator Angus King doesn't, like, in Twitter File 16, put me on a list for anything. DHS and CISA doesn't censor 4 of my tweets for anything. Obviously, there's something here, Shady Groove, because, you know, Media Matters, what, 50, 49, 39, I can't remember. A lot of articles about this show, you and your listeners, our listeners, and, you know, Donnie O'Sullivan didn't listen to me the other day about, like, you know, these people are nuts. The Epstein people are doing us a disservice, and it's all the Flynn Network, but he didn't decide to run with it. I told him about the Flynn Network in our 55 minutes worth of footage, okay? And he knows. He goes, wow, that's an interesting take. Yeah, it's an interesting take. It's the right right take? Because Shady, what are we always wrong?
Always wrong until we're right.
Wow,
It's not a
imagine that.
take. It's not a take whenever you're presenting something that's a provable fact. And what we're showing you today is clearly that every single one of those things that you saw happen against Donald Trump came up doing this whole thing with the Epstein thing. If you dug a little bit deeper, what you would see is that all of the minions that were under these people have always been there, and they're the ones that are pushing it's the Jewish people that do everything narratives. Oh, it's the Jews, it's the Jews. So then you're painted as this like racist person because you're talking about a control system over humankind. The control system over humankind has no religion, okay? It's not a religion. It is a control system over humankind, and it is wielded by the dark forces, not the light forces.
Waukesha Mike says, I rarely share comments, but just so you know, I pray God's blessing upon you all. I know that I'm generously blessed to be here with all of you. That is an irrefutable truth. Thank you so much for that. Cupid's Cowgirl, 1 subscription to the MG Show. Thank you. We need you. So let's go. Well, Shady. Perhaps one of the biggest pesky Q proofs is developing now. And guess what, Shady? We knew back in 2018, okay? All you asshats that wanted to give me shit because I knew how this exactly worked because of Q and our decoding of it can all go take a lap, Shady.
They need to all take a lap because what we've done is we've exposed something that everyone else was trying to cover up, and including the Russia thing and all this impeachment stuff and everything that went there, everything that happened at Mar-a-Lago. All of those things, all of those things are because of this. Okay, like everything is throwing sand in the face. You have to understand how the intelligence operations work. And you have to understand what the goals of the intelligence operations are. The goal is an info war. The goal is to liquefy reality. The goal is to distort anything that has anything to do with what is truthful. Make all of the things that are positive for your position amplified, and all the things that are negative for your position suppressed. This is the reason that the whole system, what we've done at the MG Show with each of you through this process, is we found this happy middle. The MG Show is in the middle of this. We are not on either side. We are pro-America. We are pro-Donald Trump as long as he's doing things that are really pro-America, which so far he has not wavered on. And we are being attacked by the left-wing lunatics
and the right-wing.
Being attacked by the right-wing lunatics, which means we are actually doing journalism.
Wow, I love it. Thank you. Good rant, Shady Groove. And it's true.
You,
so let's go to this. Well. Perhaps is one of the biggest pesky Q proofs it's developing right now. On 7/18/2025, DNI Tulsi Gabbard releases new evidence. Evidence that we've already known about, of the Obama administration conspiracy to subvert President Trump's 2016 victory and presidency. On 8/9, that's a typo, guys. That should be 8/9/2018. Oh, I was 2 months off. Sorry, guys. But look at that. This is how it works, guys. Okay? The spy operation post involves Obama, Hussein, the White House, CIA, FBI, DOJ, international actors, the UK, targeting Donald J. Trump with FISA abuse and declassifications as key elements, and the mention of they never thought she would lose refers to Hillary Clinton's 2016 election loss. Now, let's go ahead. That looks really complicated, doesn't it, Shady? This post, doesn't it?
Yes, it does, but we got you.
Yeah, we got you guys. And, we did a face map back in 2018, okay?
7 years ago.
7 years ago, Jeff and Shady were talking about this. And, some others too. I'm not going to, take all the credit, but look at this. This is it, Shady Groove. This is Q post 1828. Wow. All right. So let's go look at this. Okay. So this is the post. No name. So this is all of it. Okay. This is from bottom to top. Let's go from bottom to top. They thought she would never lose. Okay. You've got this happening right here. UK PM. All right. SIS, spy activity, Christopher Steele. Christopher Steele goes to No Name McCain, okay? And he's in Syria right there, wearing a Syrian flag pin, okay? Great. So then you've got Shell Company 1, 2, and 3. Shell Company 1 is the Washington Free Beacon. Perkins Coie is Shell Company 2. And Fusion GPS is Shell Company 3. No name. We do not say his name goes to that one right there, which is I can't remember what I can't read it right now, but I can't remember. But it's neither here nor there, because here you got the President Daily Brief. Have you been hearing Tulsi Gabbard talking about the President Daily Briefing, Shady?
Yes.
Wow. So Q talked about it too.
Because this is the reason that Q talked about the PDB is because the PDB is the place where the evidence would be. The PDB is where you would go to prove something, like say, oh no, we didn't discuss that in the Presidential Daily Briefing. Oh yes, you did. It's right here on the paperwork.
There are 12 posts with the Presidential Daily Briefing. Look, this is so hard to understand.
Yeah, it's like cryptic.
Wow.
It's like deciphering. Wow. It's like deciphering a nanotech computer.
Wow, look at this. This is so hard to understand, guys. Wow.
It's actually easy.
Who signed page 380, 389? Go look. It's easy. This is not so cryptic. This exactly is what's happening. 12 posts with the Presidential PDB. And the first one, Shady Grove, was on 8/16/2018. Okay? That's how long we've known about this stuff.
And wasn't that, was that the one that, I think that was the very first one was talking about FISA. Am I right? The first mention of the president, the PDB, was that FISA at the top on that one?
So no, it says 8/16. It's a Comey tweet. Let's just go to it here. It's a Comey tweet, and it says line 4 Gmail 12/9/16. Unearthed to departments, untethered to department standards, concerned dedicated resources in place are not adequate to shelter. Against the PDB in which several agencies contribute. Will you stand tall or cower? Resist op will not provide enough public support for cover. Smile for the camera. Patriots in control. And it goes to Comey's tweet that actually, this could be used against him in a court of law.
Right, and I saw there, it's actually the 1944 one is the one that I thought was the first one with the PDB. That's the one right there beside it that outlines the FISA. And the FISA, you guys will now see, when you read through this, it's completely different now to understand. Like, all of this is predicated on being able to surveil. The surveillance is the beginning of the investigation. All investigations will begin with surveilling the target. FISA is utilized in this scenario because they can't directly surveil Donald Trump. You can't just go say, oh, we want to go through legal work. You've got to go around that. So what they had to do is they had to generate plants. There are 4 plants. The 4 plants are Carter Page, George Papadopoulos, Paul Manafort, and General Flynn. 4 created plants inserted into the Trump administration so that FISA warrants could be pulled on those people. Then their phones could be surveilled. General Flynn, out of those 4, was the only one that had direct contact with Donald Trump. That's the reason he was the key in all of this, is because he is the one that had the communications with Trump that got the leak out about Kislyak and the non-communication and the whole thing that basically set it up to make General Flynn look like he was somehow going against Trump.
All right, so let's go back to the post as well, because this is huge, right? So this is the Q proof, pesky Q proof. December 9, secret Russia meeting, deep state leaks, fake weaponized assessment, the Russia hoax. POTUS POTUS briefing pulled. IC, Internet, Intel Committee pulls product that contradicts the Russian hoax narrative. It's all right here. Okay. Now let's go to it, Shady Groove, because it's actually very interesting. Let's go back to the picture so you understand who that we've been talking about for what's 2018. How many years is that now, Shady? 7? 7 years. Okay. 7 years.
We're coming up on a 7-year delta.
So here's James Comey. You've heard of him, right?
Mm-hmm.
Andrew McCabe, Jim Rabicki, Michael Steinbach, Bill Priestap, Peter Strzok, and I'm blocked on Twitter by Peter Strzok. Imagine that. Wow. Lisa Page, the Lovebirds, James Baker, thank you, Baker, Mike Cortan, Josh Campbell, Sally Moyer, Tanisha Guahar, and Kevin Kleinsmith, KC. Okay. This is the POTUS Daily Brief, FISA Step 3, let's just go up. $, raw signet, Trump Tower, email server, tarmac meeting, UK assist, CIA, HRC, and DNC, excuse me. FISA step 1, Steele dossier. FISA step 2, CIA to FBI. FISA step 1, Step 2, FISA to DOJ. FISA step 3, DOJ to DNI and POTUS Daily Brief. Okay, look at these guys. These are all scumbags. Okay, the next line of scumbags brings you to Loretta Lynch, Sally Q. Yates, David Loftman, and I'm not sure who these guys are. John Carlin, Mary McCord, Rachel Brand, and Bruce Orr. Bruce Orr actually connects down to Christopher Steele. Okay. So we've known all this. Wow, how amazing. You got to censor the people that know about this stuff, don't you?
And also Bruce Orr connects back to through his wife Nellie Orr, also connecting to Fusion GPS and connecting to the person they got the ham radio license, because this is the scheme they cooked up, was that they were going to try to communicate with each other over ham radio to stop them from being able to be tracked. But look at the graphic that we had, all of that effort, and we can still see what they did.
Then you've got John Pidoesta, Robbie Mook, the DNC, Debbie Wasserman Schultz, those that scream the loudest. You have got Cheryl Mills, Huma Abedin, who's now married to a Soros. You've got Hillary Clinton, who goes directly down into the Supreme Court. You've got Loretta Lynch that goes up into Bill Clinton. HA and CM go to Hillary Clinton and Bill Clinton. You've got DNI James Clapper. You've got CIA John Brennan. You've got KM, we're not sure who that is yet, but Samantha Power. POTUS just said, how did Samantha Power make all that money? Huh?
And also Q talked about her.
That's a pesky Q proof. John Kerry, Rahm Emanuel, Joe Biden, Dennis McDonough, Valerie Jarrett, Barack Hussein Obama. We have had it all, guys. We have had it all. We've had it all. I want YouTube to I mean, this is ridiculous what they did to us because we had it all. Now the truth is coming out. I'm getting chills, Shady.
Well, but that's the reason that we were censored. Like, okay, so it's like everybody just like overlooks this stuff. Like, why? You have no right to censor us. They censored us because we were calling out this corruption. We were talking directly to the corruption of 44. His corruption. We were explaining exactly what it was they did to hurt Donald Trump. And when Donald Trump was trying to serve in his administration, the people on high from YouTube and other places took people that were voices for the president off the air so that they couldn't explain to other people what had been done. And now this is all going to come out, and what, we're just going to pretend like that didn't happen to us. We're going to pretend like that wasn't the case.
Yeah. And here we go. This is another one, another pesky Q proof. Watergate times 1,000. On 7/20/2025, the GOP erupts after Gabbard exposes Obama admin's treasonous intel plot framing Trump. Makes Watergate look like amateur hour. 8/26/2018, post 18/22. First mention of Watergate, 7 posts with Watergate. Watergate times 1,000, Shady Groove. We have it all. Jeez.
Multiple instances.
Look at that, Watergate. But Q is just trust the plan and JFK Jr.'s alive, right, Shady?
Yeah, it's just making everybody lay around and not do anything. A great disservice. Q was a great disservice engineered by the CIA to explain to us how the CIA was setting up Donald Trump. It's the dumbest argument you could possibly make would be to say that what Q was an being a leak from the counterintelligence assets that it was exposing in the field. That's actually illegal. Like, the CIA can't legally expose their clandestine operations. You understand that? There's only one person that could expose CIA clandestine operations legally. That would be the President of the United States. No one else would have that authority. No one else would have that authority to initiate Q other than the President of the United States. Logic will kill you and crush all narratives if you will use it properly.
So what's the plan from here? Asked Steve Cray. Didn't you
hear that we have criminal referrals going on? It is a process. If you want to jump on there's no arrest yet, 6 months into the administration, then
that's what they're going to do. They're
Please
already
exit,
doing it.
because it's ridiculous.
It's going to be ad nauseum. Okay. Can I explain this? Can I have like 2 minutes to explain this, Jeff? Please. Are you in a hurry? Pressure campaigns. What you're doing right now, you're jumping on board of a pressure campaign against Donald Trump. So I'm going to explain to you what a pressure campaign is. A pressure campaign was Q. A pressure campaign was Q. That's what it was. You want to call it a psyop, whatever. It was a pressure campaign. A pressure campaign on Bill Barr. A pressure campaign on John Durham. A pressure campaign on all these people. Trust Kansas, Mike Pompeo. All these people. Trust Ray. All these different things. Pressure campaign. You're currently seeing what the gentleman just said there about, oh, there's been no arrest, because all of these people are going, oh, there's been no arrest. Oh, nobody does anything on the Epstein case. Oh, those are intelligence operations, pressure campaigns against your president. That's what you're participating in. So if you want to go participate in a pressure campaign against the current administration and pretend like you know more than anybody else and blackmail people, that's fine. You're going to go right along with the Flynn nuts. That's where they're going to be in 3 seconds. 3 seconds
by the way,
from now, they're already starting on it. That's what they're going to be doing. It has to be connected, Jeff. This is what...
Well, I got another thing to connect. It's James 2000X.
It's 10 years into the administration.
Because he was president. Get the hell out of here, James. You and your devolution bullshit started by Flynn is another black pill. Shady.
It's all done to undermine him. Everything that you do, every comment that you see that's derogatory to President Trump is a person who is a digital psychological operator who is here on the battlefield trying to take away from the gains that Donald Trump is having, trying to take away from the wins that Donald Trump is having, trying to make you think that for some reason you're dumb for thinking that Donald Trump is doing a great thing for America. That's what it is. It's exactly like what Q was doing to all these people. And what did it do? It brought all of these people to the conversations to say that we want something to happen now. You can't use the same thing against the person that gave you the opportunity to say that to begin with. Oh, sorry, I didn't see it.
Yeah, no, I thought I had a phone call, but it's some freaking
so sorry.
sales guy. All right, no. All right, so we're going to go into this because all this bullshit with this devolution is bullshit. All this, we need arrest now, is bullshit. It is a process and it must be done right. And sometimes the wheel of justice turns slow. But we're only 6 months into the administration, Shady.
You literally just now got information that would be the predicate for an investigation. Okay, let me explain how America works. It works by rule of law. So right now, you just literally over the weekend had insertion into the public conversation about evidence that proves that the past presidential administration of Barack Obama was spying on Trump and inserting people to run psychological operations, not to mention undermine Trump and take away from from his ability to govern. Those things just came to light. You have to have the public call for an investigation.
And you know, Shady,
you don't get an investigation just because something came to light. You people are incensed. You're trying to like trigger people, and my audience is not going to go for it. You're not going to get them to bite. I'm sorry. It's not going to work. They understand that there's an investigation. The investigation has to happen. Once the investigation happens, then you'll see if someone gets indicted, because a grand jury has to indict somebody. These people, Pam Bondi doesn't indict people. The FBI doesn't indict people. A grand jury indicts people. It's like you guys come here to a conversation and pretend like you know things. You don't even know how your process or your system works. You don't know the first damn thing about it. All you want is to have your little sound bites.
But I was gonna add to that too, Shady, because we just showed you how we knew all these people that they're talking about right now. Q outlined it. Q talked about presidential briefings. Q talked about it. And you're saying Q is a psyop? Come on, stop it. All right. And that guy's gone because I'm not taking it anymore. I'm not gonna take it. And you're right. It's getting ad nauseum bullshit. These people on X, Facebook, and wherever else that are spewing this nonsense about devolution, that President Trump was the president, you know, when people in Afghanistan got killed. You know, stop it. Just stop it.
Ridiculous.
Do you hear yourself?
It's ridiculous. Those are the same people that are saying that that Donald Trump was bringing the illegals here to help us clean up the illegals in the country. Like that.
Brian,
that's literally what they were saying.
Brian B says, was Dan's Fuego post at 808 mocking the Arrest Now movement? Yes. And
yes,
so was the karma.
That's exactly right. That's 100% right. Now you're see, this audience can see through this nonsense.
Yeah, X22 pushed that. Why are we still following him? How do we even know? Get this guy out. The guy's on coke, for fuck's sake. All right.
Easy.
I'm just getting sick of these freaking psyopers, bro.
I understand.
I really am.
I understand.
I really am. All right. So here we go. This is Gabbard reveals striking DNI findings, teasing more to come with bombshell memo. Shady, we need to hear it. This is your director of national intelligence, okay? Who's not the director of national intelligence?
Flynn.
Who's not in the Trump administration 2.0?
Flynn.
All right. Thank you.
And we begin this Sunday morning with the biggest political scandal of all: collusion and conspiracy at the highest levels against President Trump. Now, Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard revealing what this audience has known all along: a cabal of high-ranking officials led by then-President Barack Obama, CIA Director John Brennan, and Hillary Clinton, among others, took the world on a wild goose chase to try and take down their political enemy, Donald Trump, no matter the casualties along the way. DNI Tulsi Gabbard is now calling for prosecutions, revealing declassified documents from the Russia collusion made-up investigation, which she says detail a treasonous conspiracy by officials at the highest level of the Obama White House to stop incoming President Donald Trump. The cabal included Barack Obama, John Brennan, James Clapper, Hillary Clinton, Joe Biden, Jim Comey, and Susan Rice, who pushed a made-up story that President Trump colluded with Russia to win the 2016 election, so the cabal would not lose their grip on power. All of this exactly as then Intelligence Committee Chairman Devin Nunes, Judiciary Committee member John Ratcliffe, and President Trump himself told us so many times from day one.
What that is it's the original intelligence, the original reasons that the counterintelligence investigation was started. Now, this is really important to us because a counterintelligence investigation uses the tools of our intelligence services that are not supposed to be used on American citizens. So we've long wanted to know, well, what intelligence did you have that actually led to this investigation? So what we found now, after the investigators have reviewed it, is that, in fact, there was no intelligence.
As a former federal prosecutor, my opinion is that declassifying them would not expose any national security information, would not expose any sources and methods. It would expose certain folks at the Obama Justice Department and FBI and their actions taken to conceal material facts from the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Court.
How involved was John Brennan?
Totally involved. He was totally involved. John Brennan was one of the architects, in my opinion. You look at Brennan, you look at Clapper, you look at them all. But ultimately, the president knew everything. The president knew everything. President Obama and Vice President Biden, they knew everything.
And Comey and Brennan and Clapper, they all were terrible, and they lied to Congress. They spied on my campaign, which is treason. They spied both before and after I won.
Joining me now is the woman herself, the Director of National Intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard. Director, thanks very much for being here this morning.
Good morning, Maria. Thank you.
What was the most damning thing that you learned after looking through all of these declassified documents?
Maria, the implications of this are frankly nothing short of historic. Over 100 documents that we released on Friday really detail and provide evidence of how this treasonous conspiracy was directed by President Obama just weeks before he was due to leave office, after President Trump had already gotten elected. This is not a Democrat or Republican issue. This is an issue that is so serious it should concern every single American because it has to do with the integrity of our democratic republic. What we saw occur here, as the documents we released detailed, was that we had a sitting president of the United States and his cabinet and leadership team, quite frankly, who were not happy with the fact that President Trump had won the election, that the American people had chosen Donald J. Trump to be the next president, commander-in-chief of the United States. And so they decided that they would do everything possible to try to undermine his ability to do what voters tasked President Trump to do. So creating this piece of manufactured intelligence that claims that Russia had helped Donald Trump get elected contradicted every other assessment that had been made previously in the months leading up to the election that said exactly the opposite, that Russia had neither the intent nor the capability to try to, quote unquote, hack the United States election for the presidency of the United States. So the effect of what President Obama and his senior national security team did was subvert the will of the American people, undermining our democratic republic, and enacting what would be essentially a years-long coup against President Trump, who was duly elected by the American people.
Yeah. I want to go back to something Devin Nunes said, which is exactly what you're saying right now. And he said, after all of our investigation, we found that there was no intelligence. There was no intelligence actually indicating that Trump colluded with Russia. And what happened? Because there was a presidential daily briefing that was presented to President Obama every day. And every day it said the same thing. We have no evidence of collusion. We have no evidence that Russia did this with Donald Trump. So what happened? How did they actually get the public to believe, and half the public believed, that actually Trump did collude?
Well, this is the thing, Maria, when you look at the assessments that were made, not just by one element of the intelligence community, but in my role as the Director of National Intelligence, I oversee 18 different intelligence community elements. And in the months leading up to the November 2016 election, the intelligence community agreed that there was no intelligence that reflected that Russia was trying to hack the election in favor of either candidate. The evidence showed, the intelligence showed that, again, Russia did not have either the intent nor the capability to be able to impact the outcome of the United States election. So it was very striking when we look back again at the documents that I declassified and released that shows there was a shift in early December, the first week of December. Again, another document was produced by the intelligence community, a president's daily brief that was consistent with every other assessment that was done previously leading up to the election. Russia did not, this is after the election now, did not attempt to affect the outcome of the American election. That was never published. Hours before it would have gone into President Obama's President's Daily Brief, it was pulled by a senior level intelligence official saying that they had to pull it because they had received new guidance. The very next day, this meeting was called, a National Security Council meeting, bringing together all of the senior leaders of President Obama's cabinet, and the topic that was put forward was a sensitive matter. The tasks that came out of that meeting was coming from President Obama directing the intelligence community, then Obama's ODNI director Clapper, to produce a document, to produce an intelligence assessment that detailed not if, but how Moscow affected the outcome of the election that had already occurred, electing Donald Trump to the presidency. This document that they published in January of 2017 was the foundational groundwork that they continued to reference over and over and over again to enact this years-long coup against President Trump.
Now, I know that Devin Nunes came out with the Nunes report and a lot of other reports after that to indicate everything that you're saying. And I guess the worst of the reports, the real evidence, is the reports of most recent, right? The last reports are the worst reports that we're going to see. And I understand that there is more, perhaps, that you are going to come out with next week. And I was told that that's why they raided Mar-a-Lago, that they wanted to find the Trump-Russia documents that indicated there was absolutely no collusion and that there was no evidence to even start such an investigation. But Trump didn't have it there in Mar-a-Lago, but that's why they raided his house in 2022. Is that correct?
I don't have the details on the specifics of the Mar-a-Lago raid itself. Those are within the possession of the FBI. But there's no question in my mind that this intelligence community assessment that President Obama ordered be published, which contained a manufactured intelligence document. It's worse than even politicization of intelligence. It was manufactured intelligence that sought to achieve President Obama and his team's objective, which was undermining President Trump's presidency and subverting the will of the American people. So yes, next week we will be releasing more detailed information about how exactly this took place and the extent to which this information was sought to be hidden from the American people, hidden from officials who would be in a position to do something about it. And that's really the point here that I think is most important, Maria, and you said it in your opening. Accountability is essential for the future of our country, for the American people to have any sense of trust in the integrity of our democratic republic. Accountability, action, prosecution, indictments for those who are responsible for trying to steal our democracy is essential for us to make sure that this never happens to our country again.
Yeah, and I want to get to that right now because I've heard talk of a criminal referral. Are you referring this in a criminal matter?
We are referring all of the documents that we have uncovered to the Department of Justice and the FBI for a criminal referral.
Yeah. And do you believe that we will see prosecutions? I mean, our audience wants to know where this story goes from here. Will we ever see anyone held accountable for this incredible lie on the American people?
I will do all that I can, and we have whistleblowers, actually, Maria, coming forward now after we release these documents, because there are people who were around, who were working within the intelligence community at this time, who were so disgusted by what happened. We're starting to see some of them come out of the woodwork here because they too, like you and I and the American people, want to see justice delivered. So we're going to provide everything that we have, everything that we will continue to gather to the Department of Justice for that direct intent and that direct purpose. There must be indictments, those responsible, no matter how powerful they are and were at that time, no matter who was involved in creating this treasonous conspiracy against the American people, they all must be held accountable.
So do you expect, just to be clear, do you expect indictments and prosecutions?
I'm not a lawyer. In my view, we have the evidence to be able to move forward and bring about justice, yes, to prosecute and indict those responsible.
And I want to really put a spotlight on who's responsible, because we've talked about the highest levels. Barack Obama, John Brennan, James Clapper. But we also have to look at things like, you just found all of this. Why didn't Durham find it? Why didn't Mueller find it? Okay, what about the FISA judges? Because when you look at this seditious conspiracy aimed at overthrowing the U.S. government and an elected president, you have to consider also the black robes. You've got to look at the FISA judges. And how about the fact that the judge who gave a slap on the wrist to Kevin Kleinsmith, who was the FBI agent who lied on an official document about Carter Page, who was spied on for a year, that judge is Judge James Boasberg. He's still at his desk, and he's still trying to stop Donald Trump's agenda. So what about the broader group of people that are also involved?
Maria, this is of such historic consequence that it cannot be limited to one or two or three different people. You just outlined the implications and the effects of what actually occurred, and I think you're really putting into a clear picture what we are referring to when we refer to the deep state. It is very far-reaching. These are people who are intent on undermining the will of the American people and trying to ultimately put themselves above our democracy. And this is why it's so important that we continue down this path. We continue to stay very focused. I question the same things that you're asking here. I don't know how it is. Yes, I put my team on this. We've been working on this over the last few months. I've been in this role as Director of National Intelligence for just about 6 months. I don't know what excuse there is for those who supposedly investigated this previously, whether it was Durham or others, that they were not able to put together the dots and ultimately show the truth to the American people. President Trump has delivered a maximum transparency mandate, and this is exactly what we're doing. The American people need to see the truth, and we're going to continue to do that every single day that I'm here.
Equally outrageous was the fact that we had the handwritten notes of John Brennan. I reported on it at the time. The CIA reported to President Obama that the Russians were aware that Hillary Clinton had come up with this idea to blame the Russians and working with Trump to win the election. And we actually saw his handwritten notes. So there's that evidence that, again, all of those people who were supposedly special counsels, independent counsels, blew off, right? Robert Mueller, John Durham.
That's right. I really cannot fathom. There is no rational or logical explanation for why they failed. The only logical conclusion that I can draw in this, Maria, is what you're implying here directly, is that there was direct intent to cover up the truth about what occurred and who was responsible, and the broad network of how this seditious conspiracy was concocted and who exactly was responsible for carrying it out.
Wow, Del Nat, Forever Rumble, they never thought you would lose. Now they all lose. You both are awesome. Keep bringing the truth. $100 Rumble rant. Thank you so much.
At the end of the day, we need to look at Pam Bondi. Is that the person who, at the end of the day, is going to bring us accountability? Pam Bondi?
Attorney General Pam Bondi, FBI Director Kash Patel, it is their responsibility to gather all of the evidence, both that we have released, the facts that have already been known previously, the information that will continue to come out, and move forward with this prosecution and these indictments.
All right. We are on it, and we'll be watching that.
Wow.
Director, thank you very much for bringing us this. We so
Thank you,
appreciate
Maria.
your time. Tulsi Gabbard joining us. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
That was a pretty awesome
Steve Doocy.
interview, wasn't it, Shady Groove? Wow, it's everything that we've known. Now she actually has the evidence with declassified documents. FISA brings down the house. It is the start. This is the start, Shady Groove, and it's going to take some time. And, you know, you've got President Donald J. Trump posting videos of Obama being arrested, okay? I mean, this is not a game, folks.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy. Man. See, this is the difference between a lot of people and me. A lot of people think, oh, I want to see arrests, and you know what I want to see? You know what Shady wants to see? I want to see the public meat grinder. That's what I want to see. I want to see all of this information come out in a trickle effect, 1 week at a time, piece by piece by piece, exactly like what I feel like is just now starting, considering that she said there's going to be more to come next week. We shred them in the paper shredder of public opinion. That's where we win. That's where you eliminate the goofy, pink-haired, blue-headed liberal Karens that are running around out there trying to, talk down to you like you're somehow amoral compared to their superior morality that they lord over you on from up high. This is not just the people mentioned, Jeff, and you know this as good as I do, but just to share this little piece of information, this is FISA. And whenever we're talking about FISA, we're talking about illegal FISAs. These FISAs were not legal. They did not legally have a predicate to go and surveil Carter Page, George Papadopoulos, General Flynn, and Paul Manafort. This was engineered. This was engineered for a very specific reason. John Roberts is at the center of this because he is the lead honcho there on the FISA court judge. And then it boils down to this. Take it for what you will. Thin air. They created it all out of thin air. Everything that you've ever heard of Russia, the only real thing that they had about connecting Trump to Russia, the only real thing that they had was General Flynn sitting next to Vladimir Putin and being Donald Trump's national security advisor. That's the only real connection that they actually had something that would say there was thin air. They made it all up out of thin air. So every single time that a typewriter or a newspaper printed an article, used print to print an article about Russia connection to Trump, every single one of those things on the left and the right media were complete and utter lies. And that, my friends, was the reason we needed Q. That's the reason we needed people to like even the game board, because it was completely topsy-turvy. They were ping-ponging this around between left and right media and not showing anything that was going on. Q came and dropped the evidence on everybody's Twitter page. Then there was X amount of it you couldn't deny.
Yeah. I want to, we're talking about military intelligence cook this up. Is that basically what we're seeing? Shady Grove, Brennan,
yeah.
Comey. Yeah. So I want to just go over this. Background. Why is this relevant? Flynn. What is Flynn's background? What was his rank? Was he involved in intel ops? What access or special privileges? Why is this relevant? Setup. Who wins? Who becomes exposed? Who knows where the bodies are buried? Who has access? What is military intelligence? Who was part of military intelligence during BO's term? Who was fired during BO's term? Military intelligence. Why is this relevant? Very interesting, guys.
Because Obama only mentioned Flynn. He only mentioned North Korea and Flynn. And you guys have to realize how significant that is, considering the amount that Flynn is in the Q posts and the way that all these people came to the conversation to spin it, and considering the heaping enormous amount of evidence that is out there that shows that exactly what we're saying here is an accurate assessment of what Flynn's objective was here. He's still on that objective today. He's out there flogging around in public, like, screaming and yelling that he wants all this stuff exposed. God bless him. I'm glad that he wants all this stuff exposed. I agree with him on that front. What I think also is that will people like Brennan and Comey sit there in prison and not out him? Will they sit there and watch General Flynn keep beating them on the head once they're behind bars and not actually come out and say what really happened? We'll see. Sure is possible. So is the opposite.
So I want to also read this one, since we have somebody named that here. FBI chain of command mid-year investigation, HRC email. FBI chain of command, FISA, Russia, POTUS, Flynn, Stone, Papadopoulos, Manafort. Their CIA bridge was for intel access was Brennan, and then Access 17 UK link, FBI chain of command, DNC hack CIA. And by the way, Shady, Chuck Grassley just is now making the Clinton annex public today. So the American people have all the facts Senator Johnson and Chuck Grassley have requested in this document declassification together since 2020, and President Trump's Pam Bondi, Kash Patel, and others finally got it done. Thanks for your dedication. So this is newly classified DOJ watchdog report shows FBI cuts corners in the Clinton email investigation, Shady. The FBI failed to take normal investigative steps and review all evidence.
And this is exactly what we thought was going to happen.
Yeah,
we could have told you this was what was going to happen a year ago. But look at everybody. They spent 3 months coming at you about Epstein. No one even understands how to orient themselves right now. And they're already trying to pivot and scream and yell about there not being. You even saw Maria Bartiromo right there doing exactly what the psychological operators are doing, screaming and yelling about there being arrest. Why don't you instead report on the corruption more thoroughly? Yeah. You're not reporting on the corruption thoroughly. You're sitting there saying, oh, it's like we knew. What you did was you went on there and said, you're saying these people say this whenever you're talking about Donald Trump's administration. As the news, you shouldn't be characterizing it like that. You should be saying, this occurred. This is a fact. But Fox News will not do that. Pay very close attention. They say Trump's administration says whenever they've got the document right in front of them, and it could be clearly stated as evidence shows.
Yeah. Yeah, so we're looking at everything, and that's another Q proof right there. The
Another
OIG report that President Trump, I'm sure Q didn't talk about OIG. He only talked about what, JFK Jr.'s alive and trust the plan. That's it, right?
Yeah, that was it. Yeah. I never talked about the
OIG 22 drops. Okay, people need to actually read these things. Okay, and we did. We actually did it in real time, Shady.
It's the reason that we're here, because we understand the momentum that we created. We understand the rabbit hunt that we're on. We're on a hunt. You're on a hunt. Information is being hidden from you. You are on a hunt to find the information. It's like an egg. It's like a game of hide and seek that we're playing with these people. If we didn't participate, they'd just get to hide it.
Yeah. Yeah, and then have people like named Papadopoulos go in and cover up for them.
And cover it right up. And Flynn. Yeah. Look at the perfect cover-up this whole thing is for Flynn. The people out there still today yelling and screaming at us. It doesn't even matter. what we think. It has absolutely no relevance what we think whatsoever about Flynn, but these people make it their life's mission. This is a cult. This is a perfect definition of a cult. These people are dismissing reality so that they can pretend to live in their little fantasy world. They're no different than BLM or Antifa. They're trying to make me say something, trying to make me say Flynn is a hero, trying to make me think something. That is mind control. You can't make me think something. And they're attacking our audience left and right, Jeff. All weekend, they're like literally tagging our audience, attacking specific people. Some of them are in the chat right now, tagging their Twitter handles, seeing who's following us and who's participating with us, and then targeting them on Twitter using Grok. Isn't that an interesting technique?
Yeah, that's weird. And
that's what they did.
Here's General Flynn's take on Q. I believe, and his eyebrows are going crazy, I believe it's a major psyop, and from what I can tell, it or they or whatever or whoever is running this op has done a major disservice. Okay? And then General Flynn has the audacity to drop a Q post. Okay? Then he posts a Q post like a clown to water the Flynn network. You can't have it both ways, period, the end.
Period.
Wow, another dial net forever Rumble. Now people are finding out why Trump has always played YMCA in every rally. The first YMCA is at Gitmo. That's right, where the treasonous people all will be. Also, just so you know, the YMCA is where Joe Biden's dad lived when he worked for the railroads that we're talking about every Friday on Rumble Premium.
I believe it's where Joe Biden lived whenever he left from his dad, wasn't it?
Joe Biden's dad.
His dad. Yeah, okay. No, that's right. Yeah. His dad. That's correct. His dad got abandoned and had to live at the YMCA. That's right.
That's right. C. Sayers 2269. Thank you for the subscription. My God, thank you so much. Let's do this real quick. We've got a commercial here, Shady. It's Rumble Premium, one that's very important. This is very important for this show and Rumble, and it's for the survival of this show and Rumble. When Rumble first started in 2013, they built the platform for the small creator. They didn't censor, have biases. They were fair and treated all creators equally. No one thought platforms would censor political conversation or censor opinions on anything, but they did, right? Facebook. They admitted that they fell to the pressure from the Biden-Harris administration, and it was proven that Twitter did as well. Rumble did not. They held the line. YouTube as well. I got to mention YouTube. Rumble held the line. They did not silence us. They gave us a voice to talk to you today. They're attacking corporate media. They're attacked by governments like France. And they're attacked from brand advertisers who refuse to work with them. Corporate America is fighting to remove free speech. Rumble is fighting to keep it, guys. Rumble won't survive without brand advertising because they don't get much of it. Watching the MG show right here on Rumble is the most that they can ask for you. But if you really believe in this fight and you have the means, one major way to help Rumble is to join Rumble Premium, the community that believes in the First Amendment and believes in our human right to free speech. Rumble is also offering $10 off for promo code STUDIO when you purchase an annual subscription. Go to rumble.com/premium and use code STUDIO. Like I said, if you have the means and believe in what they're doing and this cause, now is the time to join Rumble Premium. If you don't have the means, we're just happy that you watch the MG show right here on Rumble.
Thank you guys so much. By the way, thank you all for joining our Rumble Premium. We had another amazing episode on Friday where we're digging into the Pandora's box, the hidden hand of the political elite. And very interesting enough, in hour number 2, we're going to be talking to you about a current news story, things that are going on right now in the news that are connecting directly to the control system, our overlord, the head of the snake, the no other issue and or topic actually matters compared to the Federal Reserve. That's what we should all be talking about. Anybody in Q world should only be talking about literally the Federal Reserve and Obama corruption.
We need a rest, Shady.
I know and you need some other stuff too. You need Red Bull.
Autists need Red Bull. And by the way, guys, just so you know, the question was asked, hey, Q, are we going to end the Federal Reserve? He said structure. Q team said structure. And if you look at all those letters that Donald Trump is sending out to all these different countries and type them into the Q map, you find that we're doing business directly with countries that used to have Rothschild-owned, Rothschild-owned Federal Reserve banks in those countries. That is the restructuring of your Federal Reserve, and all they should be doing is interest rates, and they're failing on that right now. And what Powell's under investigation for a $2 billion boondoggle of putting restaurants and stuff and trees and parks on roofs.
2.5.
Yeah, $2.5 billion, guys.
You don't leave out the $500 million.
Oh my God, because that's another money laundering scheme. And the
It
train
sure is.
and the train to nowhere has been defunded as well in California. It all connects, guys. The trains, the railroads, Pandora's Box, Friday, Rumble Premium. Join it. We'll be right back after these beautiful boom messages.
Hello to all of you beautiful patriots out there.
First of all, let me just thank you all for supporting this show. We wouldn't be here without you. But I have a huge announcement regarding donations.
It has come to our attention that using the Rumble app is taking an additional 30% of your donation to the show.
Let me explain. According to our TOS, Rumble takes 20% of all donations made through the web browser.
And that's a 20%. It's a good deal if you consider other platforms like YouTube and such.
There is a hidden cost that we just found out. For example, we received the generous $500 donation from Spill Tea, and thank you so much for that, from the Rumble app on Apple. So Rumble took 20%, and Apple took an additional 30%. We brought that to Rumble, and they said, well, Rumble's take of tips and donations is 20%. That's if the transaction is done through the web browser. If using the Android or iOS app, it's an additional 30% collected by those platforms.
So please use the web browser to make your donations to the show and avoid the hidden fees by Apple and Android.
That's right. You can also support us at GiveSendGo/HelpMGShow, mg.show/donate. We have PayPal and Cash App. Both are at RealMGShow or $RealMGShow. Please help us out. We appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
To celebrate our newest launch, Rev 7, I'm bringing you an amazing introductory offer, plus an exclusive overstock sale that you're not going to want to miss. Rev 7 is our premium energy drink that tastes great and gives you energy all day with no jitters and no crashes. That's because there's no sugar and no caffeine. I'm so sure you're going to love Rev 7 that for a limited time you can try our 3-pack absolutely free. Or check out our Percale bed sheets. I can't believe I'm even going to say this. Every color, every style, every size, only $29.88. So go to mypillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to save 20% on our Rev 7 12-packs or try our introductory 3-pack absolutely free. And our Percale bed sheets, all sizes only $29.88, even the queens and kings. Inventory is extremely limited, so order now.
QAwaken is a streetwear brand and a community-driven project blending fashion, art, and digital assets. Built on the XRP ledger, it offers phygital products. Physical items like hoodies tied to NFTs, non-fungible tokens that grant rewards in QWK tokens. Our QWK token powers our d-commerce ecosystem, rewarding you for engaging, holding, and shopping in a decentralized way. Aiming to revolutionize streetwear with a focus on sustainability and community values, QAwaken was founded in late 2021, and it's tied to the Great Awakening theme, promoting free thought and truth-seeking. Join us at QAwaken.club and become active part of the Golden Age.
Join us on Friday for Rumble Premium.
You're now tuned into The Matrix, the shade the groove, covering the bases. Deep diving once you go through the basics. You think they say you breathe, but what's it laced with? Preconceived notions that you're faced with. That's just a mind state, truth will erase it. You came for truth, now it's time to face it. Bring an open mind, leave the complacent. Q Army came strapped here, we're ready for war. And there's no going back once you go through the door. Once you get a taste of truth, you get a hunger for more. Hit thematrix.com, building up from the floor. Bring it, dark to light, like never before. Time to hit the website, let me give you a tour. Hit the Patreon now if you're supporting the cause. If you love the work we do, that's a form of applause. Bringing facts every day, not for an award. Red pilling in itself is the greatest reward. Follow at In The Matrix and at Shady Groove. At Severe and On, yeah, you know what to do. Matrix Groove, the two together forming a crew. That's the move, come and be a part of it too. For the love of our people while we do what we do. Hard work and dedication just to bring it to you. It's crazy, cause they thought that she never lose. Now they all lose by the power that they abuse. In the Matrix got threads in each one of the proofs. We're right over the target every time they get cued. The thread about the face source sealed the deal. We are the new media, the world of the real. You can't put your finger on it, but it's something you feel. You know the truth is out there, but they keep it concealed. That's why we shine the light on what you need to reveal. You got the armor of God, we're providing the shield. Time to take the kill boxes and switch them around. Cause we're out of the Matrix with the truth that we found. Enjoyed the show, the MSM is tumbling down. As we watch the deep state burn down to the ground. It's all done behind the scenes without hearing the sound. They took Q for a joke, I bet they're fearing us now. All the times they played deaf, I bet they're hearing us now. They put a wall around the truth, but we're tearing it down. They want a world where thinking isn't even allowed. But this is red pill music, hope you're hearing it loud. Be your own person now, separate from the crowd. Q Army, digital soldier, repping it proud. These are digital rounds, it's a weapon of sound. And class is in session and the lesson is now.
Oh, blast from the past. What is that, 2019 time frame, Shady Groove? Wow, we've been on this wall for a long time. First started with the Q Lounge Live. Then you made me join the Q Lounge Live. And here I am today with you on the MG show, 8 years later, Shady?
Yeah, isn't it interesting that you would choose that song, considering that is from the era whenever we realized all these things we're talking about today, about how the Obamas spied on Donald Trump and Brennan and Comey cooked the books and everything was like happening in the background, and everybody told us we were crazy and started trying to censor us.
Wow. Especially the minute I said that word, Shady Groove, right?
Boy, oh boy, whenever we start talking about the bloodline controls, they start screaming and yelling that we're racist and that we should be ignored. And then next thing you know, all the people in our movement don't like it either.
Wow. I love it. I love being the bad guy. All right, Shady, let's go to, let me see if it just,
going?
What's wrong with this video that you posted?
Can I go?
No.
That'd be great. I mean, if we could go together, like, you know, like.
Stop it.
You guys have no idea how
your
much fun we
video's
have
not working, Shady. Look at.
Now you're going to probably blame me for that.
Well, I mean, look, it's not working.
I uploaded it perfectly, and did
Look
it get
at
any
all
comments?
this. Look at this.
I mean, can you do a little refresh or something?
I did 3 times.
Oh wow!
That's why I'm getting frustrated because this shit's not working. Look at that.
Jeez Louise, I have no idea.
Has nothing to do with our counseling.
Wow. Should I go and see if I can get to work on mine to help?
Yeah, let's go see if you can work it on yours.
Yeah, okay. I bet we can't.
Take some pressure off me.
Right,
Sandy Star White, thank you so much. I love the MG show. X's and O's. Thank you so much. We appreciate you too, Sandy. You got it? Does it work for you?
Well, I have to get there. It's going to take like an hour.
I know. Technically,
we're going to have to see the creation of the Russia hoax. Then we have to look at the pesky Q proof.
Pesky Q proofs, guys. Too many of them.
The entire Federal Reserve institution
works
and
just
whether
fine to me.
they
All right, it's working for you.
There was fear.
Okay.
So share your screen.
Oh yeah, give me the instructions, man. Like let me know. Let me know whenever I get there for you.
You see how long it takes me to do it? Watch. Bam.
Yeah,
bam.
I'm
bam,
still waiting.
Bam,
I'm actually still sitting here waiting on your little whirly bird over there.
Teamwork makes the dream work, Shady.
It froze whenever I went to play it.
Make it bigger. Oh, look it. It's working. Look, Shady.
It
look.
didn't work.
Look. Oh,
it literally froze whenever I went to display it to you guys.
I'm always wrong.
Oh, well. Now if I take it off, let's see if it will work.
Take it all off.
Oh,
Jeff broke it. It's all
Weird.
my fault.
Wow. Like, this does not want us playing this video, guys. They are protecting the Federal Reserve.
Wow.
This
Imagine
doesn't
that.
happen very often.
Let's see.
I don't know what to tell you, man. It's still spinning. I'm going to refresh. We're going to do this live, ladies and gentlemen.
We'll do it live, Shady.
Much love to each and every one of you. We are not ashamed. This is scripted content, and now we're running behind.
Jeez, I tell you. So it's Scott Bessent, right?
It sure is.
Okay, so let me just go.
Wait. It's trying to play again. Hang on. Is it real?
There was fear mongering over tariffs, and thus.
Oh, that's good, Shady.
To do.
Oh no!
What are you doing now?
The entire Federal Reserve institution, and we have been successful. There was fear mongering over tariffs.
Okay, you gotta be quiet.
To do is examine the entire Federal Reserve institution and whether they have been successful. There was fear mongering over tariffs, and thus far, we have seen very little, if any, inflation. We've had great inflation numbers. So, I think this idea of them not being able to break out of a certain mindset, all these PhDs over there, I don't know what they do.
Okay.
And President Trump, of course, has...
Very important there. Breaking news. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent demands a thorough review of the entire Federal Reserve System. That's the breaking news, my friends.
Yeah, and it's not just audit the Fed, guys.
Correct.
It's bigger than that.
Just a piece of it.
What we need to do is examine the entire Federal Reserve institution and whether they have been successful, okay?
Correct.
There was fear-mongering over tariffs, and thus far we've seen very little, if any, inflation, and we've had great inflation numbers. It's pretty interesting, guys.
Well, the inflation numbers are actually beyond great. And also we're seeing great things in the housing market and other stuff as well. The pressure on a lot of these communities is starting to decrease because a huge amount of illegals have went home. And I know a lot of people, you're not hearing that story, but a lot of the illegals have went home. And once that starts to occur, the pressure on the system is going to start to alleviate from top to bottom. So therefore, housing is going to relax, mortgages, all these different things in the market are going to relax. But Powell is currently charging us this high. Remember, the Fed is making money. If you look at it the right way, the Fed is making money by charging you interest on the money that they're letting you borrow. The Fed. So they're spending $2.5 billion on a renovation of a building that doesn't even cost $100,000 or $500,000 or $500,000, whatever it is. I don't know how much it costs. It doesn't cost $2.5 billion to renovate it. So they're utilizing the money that they're making on loaning you money. They're literally charging you 6 points to borrow $35 trillion, guys. Do you understand what that accrues to? Trump is calling it straight out, but everybody wants to talk about Epstein.
Yeah. And what people don't have to realize is that it's bigger than just the 2016 election. On November 8th, 2019, remember when President Trump declared, "We caught the swamp. We caught them all."
Yes.
Remember that?
Yes, I do.
Asserting that only that he could have achieved this, that only he could have done that. Okay. Within a month, the COVID-19 outbreak emerged, hitting the U.S. by January 2020. So he said that on November 8th. And then by, January, we're in full COVID swing to stop the 2020 election. And during his first term, Trump was well aware of all this treason that Obama's inner circle has. And so were we. And so was Q. Okay. Q and Trump were well aware of all of the alleged treason. And I'm not even going to call it alleged anymore. It is treason. And this wasn't a recent revelation from Trump or Tulsi. We've known about this for years, folks. We have. You have. His efforts to pursue justice were disrupted by the pandemic and all the asshats in his administration, okay? And that contested the 2020 election. Now Trump is resuming his long-standing mission, guys. This is what he tried to do in the first administration, but he had all these plants and dipshits around him, stopping him at every turn. We got somebody that was fired in 23 days, sitting down with Mueller. He was under investigation. Trump didn't know. I would have made a different choice had I known General Flynn was under investigation. I mean, it's all there. So this isn't a new goal. He's been strategizing this for years. and finally in the position to act because he's got all the asshats out of his administration and all the ones that we need in the administration, that he needs in the administration, Shady.
And you can't you clearly see it though? It seems like it's clear as day to me now to understand, like this was the hurdle. He had such a massive hurdle in front of him with all these people that were around him that were not helping. You want to think, okay, the president of the United States came to me and asked me to serve in his administration as a Steve Bannon person. So you're going to like put your stupid ego in your pocket and actually do something that's beneficial to the president. But then you get in there and then you go out and you run all of these different subversive little money raising things and PACs and all this stuff and try to connect all this where it looks like Donald Trump is being corrupt. The same thing happened with all these other people that were there in his cabinet that were Scaramucci modeled, because they were being brought in by people, and then Trump was realizing in real time, going through after Flynn goes away, then he's like, why is Flynn not going away? Flynn's not going away. Flynn's not going away. All these people
like gum on the bottom of your shoe.
Like all these people keep talking about nothing but Flynn, nothing but Flynn, nothing but Flynn. Then Q started in late 2017 highlighting Flynn. And then all of the Flynn digital soldiers started jumping on board and pretending like those were calling General Flynn a hero. And they were, to some degree, saying General Flynn was being targeted. They were bringing attention to the idea that he took a rubber bullet. But the decode of what it meant to take a rubber bullet doesn't match reality now. If the decode the digital soldiers gave you of what a rubber bullet meant, then that would mean that General Flynn would be at the right hand of Donald Trump right now, spilling the beans on the deep state. But instead, he's out there on Twitter undermining Donald Trump, saying that Donald Trump doesn't know what he's doing, and all his minions are coming out to say Donald Trump isn't working fast enough, while he stands up there and acts like he's running for president or has some sort of insight on the intelligence community. General Flynn doesn't have a security clearance. John Brennan doesn't have a security clearance. Comey, Stone, Alex Jones, all of them are cut off from their access to a security clearance person. That's why they're consistently wrong. That's why we're making a mockery out of them every day and running laps around them.
Yeah. Wow. It's crazy.
Pretty amazing, actually, if you consider what I just said. It's a lot, man.
It is a lot. And we've been on it since the beginning, guys. I mean, we might have had one person wrong, but boy, I tell you, you do the research and like let your feelings go. You got to remember, we were friends with these people. Think about that. I admitted I was wrong to follow these people.
Yeah,
Be careful who you follow.
We're admitting it every day, and just to let the audience know, there's all these people out there that are making fun of us, saying, oh, well, you've still got this stuff on your website. Yeah, that's our story.
We're a whistleblower now.
It's literally what happened to us. We didn't realize. Now we realize, and now they're all mad at us for breaking a story. They haven't debunked a single shred of what we've said to be true. They didn't come out and explain to me why General Flynn is there 1 year before the whole Russia thing, saying that Comey is his great friend. They sitting there. General Flynn is sitting there with Comey, Clapper, and Brennan. It's Comey, Clapper, Brennan, and Flynn. Those are the four that are sitting there. And you're saying that Flynn is somehow not part of them. But when he was sitting there, General Flynn was excited to be part of them. He wanted to be on their team. He was part of the intel inner circle. He was working with them every single day and making contracts around the world at the behest of his inner security clearance contacts.
Did the outgoing Obama administration help DJT with the peaceful transfer of power by placing bad actors in his transition team? Let's watch.
Trump will not be president.
Highly critical, biased text messages between senior FBI officials Peter Strzok and Lisa Page.
There will be no question about the outcome of this election.
And she got ahead of herself. This utterly stunned this campaign.
Head home. You should get some sleep. We'll have more to say tomorrow.
Our constitutional democracy enshrines the peaceful transfer of power.
The peaceful transition of power is one of the hallmarks of our democracy. We want to do everything we can to help you succeed, because if you succeed, then the country succeeds.
These declassified documents that were just released.
Officials in the Obama administration were asking for the identities to be unmasked of Americans.
Unmasking of aides and staffers of the incoming president.
The basic charge, political spying.
To disrupt the peaceful transfer of power.
Unmasking of American citizens. It could be a real problem.
Why is it that the unmasking of Flynn somehow ended up in the pages of the Washington Post?
I know nothing about those moves to investigate Michael Flynn.
The vice president said that yesterday, and then the last name on this list is Joe Biden.
The Obama administration was bitter. They wanted to do everything they could to undermine the incoming Trump administration.
Really designed to sabotage and really upend the new administration.
An outgoing president and a vice president and a Washington Post columnist and the FBI setting up an incoming administration. Wow. That's a real conspiracy, and nobody wants to talk about it.
Going to get bigger.
Wow.
It's going to get bigger and it's going to grow. You saw right there, that little clip in there was Biden saying, I don't know, the unmasking of Flynn.
He knows nothing, Shady. I mean, don't we trust Biden?
God, it looks so much different now. It all looks so much different now. Like the whole unmasking thing, you know, like we were like, oh, they're unmasking him because they're so afraid of Flynn. If they weren't afraid of Flynn and they did all of this unmasking, what does that mean, guys? Can you use Occam's razor? Can the audience use Occam's razor on that thought form right there? Like, what does it mean then? If that's what they were doing, what does it mean? It means the unmasking was like literally targeting somebody to like try to make it look like that they were actually an enemy, so that it would be push him closer to Trump. That's why Obama said, "Oh, it's General Flynn you got to look out for to push him closer to Trump." Then the transition team says, "Oh well, we got to pick General Flynn. He's the obvious choice. He's the one that they don't like." Yeah. Oh, was he the poison pill? How do you introduce a poison pill? What does a plant need water? Why does Q say plants need water in a post that includes General Flynn, but we pretend like General Flynn wasn't a plant that needed water whenever he qualifies with a FISA warrant like the other three?
Yeah.
So
let's look at that real quick, a little bit deeper. This is the Vice President Joe Biden, 12 January 17. Okay, you see that? Wow. This is the January 12th, 17. But let's take a look at this. There it is. Read the full, do you realize what happened on that day? Check it out. There you go. So read the full transcripts of President Biden getting the Medal of Freedom the same day, January 12th, 2017. He's getting the Medal of Freedom for unmasking Flynn. Same day, Shady. Look how scared he looks.
For the first and only time in my presidency, I will bestow this medal with an additional level of veneration, an honor my three most recent successors reserved for only three others: Pope John Paul II, President Ronald Reagan, and General Colin Powell. Ladies and gentlemen, I am proud to award the Presidential Medal of Freedom with distinction to my brother, Joseph Robinette Biden, Jr.
Notice anything weird?
A lot. Wow.
That guy became your president, and was supposedly your president for 4 years. And now they're still out there trying to say that the person that is Joe Biden is not Joe Biden. You don't think that person that's standing right there
Trump
beside
will not be president.
Barack Obama that he's given the medal to, you don't think that that's the same empty suit that's going home with Joe Biden every night? The psychological operations have distorted the truth so thoroughly on the side of right-wing media that you can't talk to the people on the left, not because of what they think. You can't talk to the people on the left because of what you think.
That's right.
It's what you think that's wrong that's the problem. You think that their blue hair is the problem, and yeah, their blue hair is the problem. But the reality of the situation is you're saying things that are absolutely ridiculous. Like, you know, and so when you say something that's absolutely ridiculous, like it's not really Joe Biden, it's some guy in a mask, and it's Jill Biden and Hunter Biden that are out here protecting him in reality every day, just so you could say something, just because something sounds interesting doesn't mean that it's true, and it's predicated on this whole JFK Jr. thing. Like, that's kind of the leaping point, where if you can believe JFK Jr. is alive with absolutely no evidence, then theoretically you could believe anything. The guy with the JFK Jr., he's dead, whatever his name was, -48. He had like a whole slew of people like follow him around, walking in circles in Dealey Plaza in Dallas, Texas, built off of Q people, off of Twitter, off of Facebook. I mean, that cult-like behavior is very similar to what the Flynn people are doing.
Any -48 was a Q post. That's what they do to usurp it. Just like when people like say the oath the same time Q drops it. Very interesting. And then it drags me into a court case saying that QAnon is the one that stormed the Capitol, where we now see that Roger Stone, General Flynn, Charlie Flynn all have their hands with the Oath Keepers and Proud Boys storming the Capitol to make you look violent. And Earl Matthews needs to be confirmed. They are slow walking that on purpose, because who can do tribunals, Shady Groove?
The DOD.
Interesting.
And you would need a very qualified lawyer with a very deep amount of information, and we already have that in line. And like you said, they are slow walking that, and I think they're slow walking it at the behest of people like Flynn cult.
Yeah, that didn't look like the real Joe Biden. Just stop.
I know.
I know you're probably
being trigger it.
I know they're joking. I know you're joking.
Okay.
All right. So this is a video I want to play quickly because it's a bunch of Q proofs. Let's check it out. Here we go.
Chief Justice Roberts, President Carter, President Clinton, President Bush, President Obama, fellow Americans, and people of the world, thank you.
Some of us come here to drop crumbs, just crumbs. POTUS is 100% insulated. Any discussion suggesting he's even a target is false. POTUS will not be addressing the nation on any of these issues as people begin to be indicted, and must remain neutral for pure optical reasons. To suggest this is the plan is false and should be common sense. Focus on military intelligence and state secrets, and why might that be used versus any three-letter agency?
President Trump, James Comey and John Brennan, now under criminal investigation related to the Trump-Russia probe. Do you want to see these two guys behind bars?
Well, I know nothing about it other than what I read today, but I will tell you, I think they're very dishonest people. I think they're crooked as hell, and maybe they have to pay a price for that. I believe they are truly bad people and dishonest people, so whatever happens, happens.
Because it kind of feels like some spy novel.
This is a novel. Nobody would buy it. It would be a failure because it would be too unbelievable. Nobody would believe it's possible.
What Supreme Court decision opened the door for a sitting president to activate? What must be showed? Why is POTUS surrounded by generals?
Today's ceremony, however, has very special meaning. Because today, we are not merely transferring power from one administration to another, or from one party to another, but we are transferring power from Washington, D.C., and giving it back to you, the people.
Again, there are a lot more good people than bad, so have faith. This was a hostile takeover from an evil, corrupt network of players, not just Democrats. Don't fool yourself into thinking Obama, Soros, Rothschilds, Clintons, etc. have more power present day than POTUS.
Chairman Comey about issuing a subpoena to George Soros, which I think he's going to. And then I actually just received a message today from Representative Van Drew, who's in New Jersey, that actually said on his subcommittee, which he's a chairman, they're going to explicitly be looking at George Soros's interferences in our election process.
What do they think the accusation here is? That they were buddies? Like, I never thought that George Soros and Alvin Bragg were hanging out and like going to coffee in the morning. The accusation was George Soros has an insane political philosophy that gets people killed, and he's been paying for these candidates' campaigns.
See, there you go. There you go. There's your connection. Trying to tie George Soros to Alvin Bragg, saying that he's in his pocket because he's paying for the campaign.
On Obama and the spying situation, this idea that they were spying on your campaign, you've been asked before about what crime he would have potentially committed, but I remember you talking to
treason.
That's what I was going to ask.
It's treason. Look, look.
When I came out a long time ago, I said, they've been spying on my campaign. I said, they've been taping, and that was in quotes, meaning a modern-day version of taping. It's all the same thing, but a modern-day version. But they've been spying on my campaign.
Again, no evidence of the spying.
President Obama and his team, he directed a manufactured piece of intelligence that detailed not if, but how Russia tried to influence the outcome of the United States election that President Trump won in November of 2016. This document was then used as the foundation for everything that came next. It was essentially a years-long coup that was launched against President Trump before he even had the opportunity to take his oath of office and be sworn in as President of the United States.
You can never allow this to happen to another president. This can never, ever happen to a president again, Sean. That was a disgrace and an embarrassment to our country that they were allowed to get away with this. And hopefully they won't get away with it.
But foundational to it all was the fact that we had in President Obama and his leadership team people who did not want to accept the will of the American people in electing Donald Trump in 2016, and therefore cooked up this treasonous conspiracy to, again, try to effectively, and they did effectively, launch a years-long coup against the sitting President of the United States.
If HRC directed and financed the dossier in order to obtain the bulk, so-called evidence, in order to generate circular news articles, think Yahoo, and obtain a FISC sign-off, is it reasonable to think that members of the intel apparatus, state debt, White House, foreign allies, were also involved? The biggest scandal in our known history. A new word for treason will need to be invented. The only way to regain the trust regarding equal justice under the law, regarding the White House, regarding intel, regarding the FBI, regarding the DOJ, regarding the Senate, regarding Congress, regarding 5I, regarding our government of the majority of the American people, is to provide truth, transparency, and prosecution of all those who knowingly took part in this illegal manufactured effort, an attempted coup to take down the President of the United States, is the first phase. The first phase opens the door to the Great Awakening. The attempted coup, treason, opens the public door to more serious. The pill must be easy to swallow. The lead-in. The public must be prepared for what is about to come. The Clinton Foundation.
I often reflected at really what was behind it. They were there thinking, okay, we have all of this power, we need to silence him, undermining our democratic republic as they claim to be doing so to save democracy. But when we really take a step back, we recognize that they were acting out of fear. They were terrified of losing their perceived power. They're terrified of their own personal position or fame or profit or whatever the thing was. They were terrified, ultimately afraid of us.
With this strategy, we are calling for a great reawakening of America, a resurgence of confidence, and a rebirth of patriotism, prosperity, and pride.
The Great Awakening is alive and well, Shady Groove.
And it's about something much bigger than anyone getting arrested. People getting arrested has nothing to do with the Great Awakening. What has to do with the Great Awakening would be America put back where it belongs, at the top of the stack of countries. America belongs at the top. We are the best country. We have the best civilization. We have created the best protections for the underdog. The reason that I say that America is the best country is a very specific reason. Because America, by the way our founders designed it, is set up to protect the nobody, the individual. The system is designed as best we could think of to protect the single person who has nothing, trying to fight an establishment that is in pursuit of destroying him. That is the game the king would play with people and information in the old days. That is the game that America gives you at least tools to use to wield against the system if the system comes for you. It's not always fair. It's not going to be always right, but it does happen like that in any other nation. That's the reason that we protect the underdog. We protect the vulnerable. We protect the little guy. That's what we're supposed to be so proud of. So we can't be proud and then be over here saying, oh, no, because it's a guy that's on our side, we can't talk about him. We're being divisive. That doesn't work like that. You can't have it both ways, just like Jeff said. You can't have both. You got one or the other. You can't be a fence sitter. If you're a fence sitter, you're not in the game.
Yeah. And when the president came out and the military was surrounding the president, do you think the military generals that were surrounding the president were good?
I do not.
So so people, the military is the only way is what you're reading about, but it says fully controlled. People always forget that part. And then the president proceeds to tell you with the military behind him, saying that he's giving the government back to you, the people. Don't you get that? It's not the military. The president is surrounded by military intelligence generals that were bad.
It was mocking them, guys. So fully controlled. So the system had been fully controlled from top to bottom since Lincoln. What we're reading to you about the pay source in the Federal Reserve shows you the structure that was created after the Civil War to essentially implant a democracy where our republic once stood. That democracy would be beholden to the judicial establishment, not the American people. Breaking that bond between us and the establishment that happened after the Civil War is what Donald Trump is currently in the middle of doing by restructuring the Federal Reserve. I know it sounds crazy, but it's exactly what's happening, and it's exactly the root of the matter. You know, they keep talking about root causes. Nobody on the left or the right will talk about a root cause.
Yeah.
We're talking about the root cause here, the Federal Reserve. That's the root cause of every single problem that America has. There's not one problem that America has that cannot be traced back to the root cause of it being the Federal Reserve. Nothing, guys. You don't understand. Nothing. Unfairness, climate, pollution, all of it goes back. The destruction of the Indians, being called colonizers, bringing in the Tavistock operations, selling us out to London, all of the music and the nonsense that went on in the 60s, the anti-war movement, all of that is conjured up. Sports, Disney, all conjured up to distract you from caring about your economic freedom.
Yeah. And I don't think people understand that devolution is not good. You do not want the powers of the government transferred to the army or the military in any country. It never works out well, guys. And you've been hoodwinked. Q has been infiltrated by fake Anons, and they want you to believe that devolution is good. The military taking over your government is a good thing. Isn't it we the people? Isn't that what it says? It doesn't say you the military or you the psyopers. It says we the people. Our movement is about giving the government back to you the people. How many times did Q post that?
A lot. More than 10. I mean,
you don't want the military anywhere near your government, guys.
The only thing that the military has responsibility to do would be to internally prosecute people in the military. That's it. There's no other job for the military to do here. This is all about what I said earlier, the meat grinder of public perception, the meat grinder of public opinion. That is 100 billion X stronger, bigger than the military. The military is there for us to use to protect us only, not there to use against any one single individual. If the individual is out here being corrupt, then the Department of Justice has that responsibility, not the military. The military ain't going to touch my elections. The military isn't going to come into your community and do anything. The military could possibly be used to stop insurrections.
And they're being used to protect federal agents that are being sworn by brainless liberal pukes.
That's the proper function.
Yeah, and the buildings. They're protecting federal buildings. Now, apparently, Shady Groove, Obama has a new reality show called Orange is the New Barack.
It's such a good
on
show.
Netflix. What's it called? Netflix?
Netflix.
Netflix. Yeah. Yes. And chill. Orange is the New Barack, coming soon to Netflix.
Yeah, he's going to be headed to Kenya very, very soon.
Headed to Kenya. Wouldn't that be great? And by the way, it's awesome. So Shady Grove, I posted this video on July 20th. And on July 20th at 6:47, I posted mine at 12:06 a.m. Okay. And then here's the president.
Oh, it's so good.
Oh, my God.
Good. You're gonna get excited for this.
I love it.
They're gonna like it.
Especially the president.
is above the law.
No one is above the law.
No one is above the law.
No one is above the law.
Nobody is above the law.
No one is above the law.
Nobody is above the law.
No one is above the law. No one is above the law. No one is above the law.
No one is above the law.
No one is above the law.
No one is above the law.
No one is above the law.
No one is above the law.
Oh, son of a bitch.
And a honkler.
Young man, there's no need to feel down. I said, young man, pick yourself off the ground. I said, young man, cause you're in a new town. There's no need to be unhappy. Young man, there's a place you can go. I said, young man, when you're short on your dough, you can stay there. And I'm sure you will find many ways to have a good time.
Oh my goodness, Shady Groove. Oh, and everybody freaked. All right, so real quick, Shady, let me do this before we continue.
Oh, let's do it.
It's this is a new one. Interesting. Let's go.
What do we got? What do we
I
got?
can get through it without screwing it up. Learning AI is crucial since a lot of jobs will go away due to AI. AI can be easy to learn with all the new tools that make it so you don't have to know advanced coding. You simply ask the computer in plain language to create things. If you want to go learn this, go to this link. HTTP. I can't read the link, but the link will go ahead and populate in our show links as well. Go check it out. AIO, Shady Groove.
Wow, AIO. Get busy learning AI.
AI, degenerative AI. Roger Stone's AI. Roger Stone, everything bad is AI. What AI?
Yeti AI.
Yeti AI. Oh my God. That's so good. All right. So, wow. And we haven't talked about Adam Shifty Schiff yet. Boy, oh boy.
But the corruption, man, isn't it interesting? Isn't it interesting that this is actually has to do with mortgage fraud, like the whole Letitia James thing? Letitia James is literally guilty of what she was accusing Trump of, and now this?
It's crazy.
Interesting.
It's crazy. Mikey AI, Mikey Mariano AI, Mikey Mariano. Ha! It's even in your name, Mikey. So Adam Shifty Schiff is in big trouble. He falsified loan documents. He once said my son would go to prison on a scam that Schiff, along with other crooked Dems, illegally manufactured in order to stage an actual coup. My son did nothing wrong, knew nothing about the fictional story. It was an American tragedy. Now Shifty Schiff should pay the price of prison for a real crime, not one made up by the corrupt accusers. I mean, wow, guys.
Just think about where we could possibly be in a couple of years from right now. I mean, you think about how much power these people wielded and how much destruction. Really, it's honestly, they take away from the destruction what they've destroyed. They've destroyed our society. They've destroyed our ability to talk to one another. So, I mean, it's pretty amazing, that they're still out there acting like they have some sort of moral high ground. Every single Democrat has not. Do you realize that the Democrat approval rating is under 20%? If you could go back to your 1998 self and say, in 2025, the Democrats are going to have an under 20% approval rating, you'd have been like, what? What the hell happened? How did that go? What from their own party? That's not like a 20% approval rating because Republicans don't like Democrats. That's a 20% under 20% approval rating among Democrats.
Yeah. And I want to also, it's like he went full 4chan, Shady Groove, this weekend.
I know.
I want you to pay close attention to this video posted yesterday at 6:49 p.m. The lady catches a snake, and then it proceeds to be a countdown, guys. So this could be pretty interesting. Let's just watch it, Shady. What do you think?
Caught them all.
Oh, they've been caught. You gotta love it. I love videos like that, Shady Grove Ben. You know, the first one was the snake coming out of the water. I caught them all.
Boy, oh boy. Yeah, the one that with the guy climbing with the ladders, that was like our audience escaping the psyops. You're trying to get out of the psyop. They're coming at you everywhere.
They do. They really do. And guys, you know, they're taking a little victory lap on this too. Rubber bullets sting but do not last. Imagine how much harder the fall when fake MAGA complicit rubber bullet admit that the greatest crime in American history, 23 days fired, pain. And they're all worried about because Donald Trump posted a video that had this guy in it.
At the very end.
At the very end. Trump just posted this.
It's Flynn's arrow.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. We worship God of Flynn.
And again, I'm just going to say this again. I mean, I made a post about it. Basically, let me just see if I can find it because I'd like to read it word for word. It took me a while to craft it. AI.
So crafty.
Listen,
Linda.
Listen.
Did you guys
Linda.
like this video? Why didn't you like? You didn't rumble this video?
You didn't thumb it up? Thumb it up.
Thumb it up. Somebody
be rumbling people. You're going to confuse people on what rumble is.
It's a rumble video.
Like the video, rumble the video, whatever you want to call it. But here,
don't thumb down.
Listen up, X. This movement ain't about General Flynn. It's about Donald J. Trump, the man, the myth, the MAGA legend. Flynn got the boot in just 23 days for lying. So let's not rewrite history. I'm out here brawling on X for Trump, not some sidekick. Flynn ain't in the Trump administration 2.0, so GTFO with that noise.
There you go.
I mean, look at this, Shady. I'm sitting here like, look at, I think there's a leap for raised military families. Who cares? I don't care about General Flynn, okay? He's the one that's admitting that he was, accountability is coming either here on earth or at the gates of hell, which is where I will be, okay? What? General Flynn is admitting that he's going to hell. Wow. All right. Stop it.
Wow. So, well, that's a bit of a revelation. I mean, it's like, now wait a minute. So you're going to worship a guy that's going to hell?
Yeah, apparently people are.
That is super messed up. I mean, I thought that these people were lost, but my, oh my, you're going to follow him straight to hell, are you? Well, okay. Yeah. Well, there's going to be a lot of people that don't see you there, sir.
And then, this is like at Donald Trump. This is why I said the Epstein affair is not going away anytime soon. I mean, stop it. Stop it. Enough is enough. Accountability is coming either here on earth or at the gates of hell, which is where I will be waiting for those who abuse a child, Shady.
I can't believe he said that.
I can't believe he said it either.
Oh.
And Andrew Graff _13. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. But look at the comments in here. Like, I don't really care. Like, I don't care because Pence's lies. Okay. Flynn lies too. Yep. We got it. We understand that they all lie. At the gates, not in hell, implying he's throwing them into hell.
You're right.
So he thinks he's God. Is that better?
I don't know. I'm so confused.
Probably not. Exactly.
Oh my God.
So, weak dude. Yeah, General Flynn is a weak dude. He's a little pipsqueak. Gates of hell is what he said. Godlike complex. Guilty conscious. Was Flynn involved in Haiti, Clinton, at years Evergreen? Yes, he was. Well, he'll need to be. Hell needs a new VP. At least the last one burned in a Tesla. Mikey Mariano.
Good Lord.
Yeah, these people are disgusting. Caroline for Congress says, in a bus with 4, pure the bullshit. Stranger. So what about his list? Why isn't anybody worried about his high list of pedophiles that he has?
They don't care about General Flynn's list. The General Flynn is too busy trying to pretend like Donald Trump is on a list to distract you from the list that he supposedly has, that is going to explain to you where the bodies are buried, that he will never explain. Meanwhile, he's over there on Twitter today screaming that World War III is going to kick off, when in fact we have eliminated the World War III threat, which was Iran's nuclear system. So that's going to reach some deaf ears.
So people are like, at the game don't count. I mean, stop it. General Flynn is not in the Trump administration. General Flynn is irrelevant. And you're going to find out something that you're probably not going to like pretty soon. And there's going to be a time where the mainstream news and the right-wing, far-right media, whatever you want to call these, usurpers of our movement, are going to have to be crying, Shady Groove. It's coming. It's coming, and I'm praying for it. And either way, this is a Trump movement. I don't care about somebody that lied to my president. Okay?
Yeah, I don't care about somebody that our president called incompetent because he didn't tell him for 7 days that the president of Russia had called. Okay, that's incompetence. That's intentional incompetence. General Flynn didn't skip telling Trump that back in 2017 because he forgot.
Yeah.
He did it intentionally so that Trump wouldn't be able to talk to Putin without the interference of the intelligence apparatus in between. That's what none of them wanted. Just like none of them want bilateral talks with Bahrain or any of these other countries that Donald Trump is going around the trade agreements on. Just like Rand Paul doesn't like tariffs. Anything that has to do with the way that the Constitution is actually supposed to work or the country is supposed to function is going to be a problem with these people. And so they have to make up things to be upset about, like, Epstein files, which they spent literally 5 years, 6 years on Twitter never saying a word about until they somehow all started to agree with the left. Well, isn't it interesting, Jeff, that all these people on the right agreed with the left about the Epstein files, and then they agreed with the right. I mean, Liz Cheney, for crying out loud, came to endorse Kamala Harris. So it's like there's a number of different instances here we can point to. Oh, the Palestinians. Oh, yeah, the Gaza thing. Well, they all lined right up with the anti-Jewish rhetoric, the anti-Israel rhetoric against, pretending like Bibi Netanyahu is puppeting Donald Trump. Meanwhile, he said at the dinner, "Oh, here, sir, we've nominated you for the Nobel Peace Prize." I mean, it's like he looked so weak and ineffective in that moment. And you guys think that he's puppeting Donald Trump? I mean, give me a break.
Yeah. So let's look at real quick, Shady, before we get out of here. Treason. Look at all this. Treason. How many posted with treason? Only 57. Okay.
Only like 10%. Or 1% of the posts.
Yeah, treason doesn't pay well in the end. I think nothing. Let's see, treasons. Okay, treasonous acts, sedition against the republic, the people of the United States. Start the lead, and you heard Tulsi said she said sedition, guys. Okay, treason, misrepresentation of treason, seditious conspiracy. Okay. I mean, look at this, guys. Treason. Hunters become the hunted. How do you remove a liability? 6 o'clock can be dangerous. FISA abuse. Treason. Okay? It's treason. All of this is treason. Treason. We've been talking about treason for a long time, guys. Treason, sedition, no blockade, game over. We don't have a blockade anymore. We have an actual administration that is not blocking him. And those was the investigation on Trump and Mueller ongoing to protect those who knowingly committed treason, sedition. No blockade. Who's not in the administration? None of those people anymore, Shady. The attempted coup, treason, opens the public door to more serious. The pill must be more easy to swallow. I mean, it's happening. Treason. The
pill must be easy to swallow. Who just said that? That's exactly what we said the day in the first hour. The pill must be easy to swallow. The meat grinder of public opinion. People that have no clue about anything to do with politics look at it and say, "Oh my God, that's treason." That's what we want to happen.
Treason. Look at all the treasons. Oh, look at Fusion GPS, Perkins Coy. We knew all about these people.
so long ago.
Wow. Future proves past.
Always wrong.
Until
we're right.
We might be right all the time. Placeholders, acts for treason. This is why we need Earl Matthews, you know. So define treason, the crime of betraying one's country, especially by attempting to kill the sovereign or overthrow the government. Define subversion, the act of subverting, the state of being subverted, especially a systematic attempt to overthrow or undermine a government or political system by persons working secretly from within. Wow. Wow, guys. Treason. And what is the punishment for treason?
Are you coming to the tree?
And we're going to say goodbye to Facebook, and we are going to end with that, even though it doesn't really matter. But Shady Groove, you nailed it. Are you ready?
I am so ready, ladies and gentlemen. I'm ready for us to stand in our own research.
God bless you. Good job, Shady Groove. Thank you, Yeti.
Strange things
See you tomorrow.
happen, stranger. We met at midnight in the hanging tree. Are you coming to the tree where dead man called out for his love to flee? Strange things did happen here, no stranger would it be if we met at midnight in the hanging tree. Are you coming to the tree where I told you to run so we'd both be free? Strange things did happen here, no stranger would it be if we met at midnight in the hanging tree. Are you coming to the tree where a necklace of hope side by side with me? Strange things did happen here, no stranger would it be if we met at midnight in the hanging tree. Are you coming to the tree where I told you to run so we'd both be free? Strange things did happen here, no stranger would it be if we met at midnight in the hanging tree. Are you coming to the tree where they strung up a man, they say we're running free? Strange things that happened here, no stranger would it be if we met at midnight in the hanging tree. Are you coming to the tree? And call out for his love to feel. Strange things that happened here, no stranger would it be if we met at midnight in the hanging tree.
www.mg.show. Boom.